Your home is not messy because you are lazy. It is messy because nobody ever taught you the system Japanese people use without even thinking about it. Think about the last time you cleaned your home from top to bottom. You spent hours. You moved things, wiped things, organized things, threw things away. And within 3 days, it looked exactly the same as before you started. Maybe worse. That cycle, clean hard, fall behind, clean hard again, fall behind again, is the only approach most people have ever known. And it is exhausting. It is not sustainable. And it is not how Japanese homes stay clean. Japanese homes stay clean because of 6 specific habits that stop the mess from ever forming in the first place. Not because Japanese people clean more, because they have a completely different relationship with the spaces they live in. And once you understand that relationship, you will never approach your home the same way again. Stay with me because habit number 3 is the one that is going to surprise you the most. It has nothing to do with storage containers or decluttering methods or any of the things you have already tried. It is something Japanese children are taught before they are old enough to go to school, and it takes less than 60 seconds a day. Habit number 5 is the one I want you to pay close attention to because it is the reason Japanese homes feel calm even when they are small, even when there is a family of 4 living in an 800 square foot apartment. And if your home has ever felt chaotic no matter how much you tidied it, number 5 is going to explain exactly why. 6 habits. No products to buy. No weekend project. Just 6 things you can start doing before you go to sleep tonight. Before we get into the habits, there is one idea sitting underneath all of them that you need to understand first. In Japan, there is a philosophy called katachi, which refers to the proper form or shape of things. Under katachi, every object in a home has a correct place, a correct purpose, and a correct relationship to the space around it. When something is out of place, it is not just untidy. It is disrupting the natural order of the entire room. That sounds abstract until you see it in practice. Walk into a Japanese home and you will notice immediately that surfaces are clear. Floors are open. Every item visible is there because it belongs there, not because it landed there and nobody moved it. That is katachi in action. It is not minimalism for the sake of aesthetics. It is a deeply held belief that your physical environment directly shapes your mental state. When your home is in its correct form, your mind follows. When it is out of form, your mind follows that too. Hold on to that, because every habit on this list comes back to it. Habit number 1. Osooji. Osooji is the Japanese tradition of the great seasonal clean, practiced at the end of every year without exception. Every surface, every corner, every drawer, every shelf, reset completely before the new year begins. But what most people outside Japan miss about Osooji is not the cleaning itself. It is the mindset that surrounds it. In Japan, Osooji is not treated as a burden or a chore that has been avoided too long. It is treated as a ritual of renewal, a deliberate clearing of everything that accumulated over the past year, physical objects, broken things, items that no longer serve the household, things kept out of guilt or habit rather than genuine use. The reason Osooji matters for daily cleanliness is what it creates afterward. When a home has been completely reset, the threshold for what is allowed to re-enter it becomes higher. People become more aware of what they bring through the door, more selective. The home holds its clean state longer not because people try harder, but because the reset raised the standard. You do not need to wait for the end of the year. You need to do one complete reset right now. Every drawer, every closet, every surface. Not tidied. Reset. Remove everything that does not belong, everything that is broken, everything kept without a reason. Do it once thoroughly, and your daily maintenance drops to almost nothing because there is simply less available to create mess. And that brings us directly to the habit that stops the mess from re-entering after that reset. Stay with me because this one changes the way you shop, the way you receive things, and the way objects move into your home permanently. Habit number 2, Mottainai. Mottainai is one of the most important concepts in Japanese daily life, and it translates roughly as what a waste or too precious to waste. On the surface, it sounds like a conservation principle, and it is. But in the context of a clean home, Mottainai works as a filter at the front door. In Japanese households, nothing enters the home without a clear purpose and a clear place. To live, not a free gift with purchase, not something picked up because it was on sale, not a duplicate of something already owned, not something kept because it might be useful someday. Mottainai extends in both directions. It applies to wasting something that has value, but it equally applies to allowing something without value to take up space in your home and your life. When Japanese people consider bringing a new object into their home, the question is never just, do I want this? It is, where will this live? What will it replace? And does this home genuinely need this? That mental filter alone prevents the majority of clutter that accumulates in most Western homes, because most clutter does not arrive in one large shipment. It arrives in small, seemingly harmless pieces. A mug from a conference, a gadget that seemed useful, a piece of decor that caught your eye. Multiply that by years, and you get a home that is always one step behind the cleaning. The fix is the filter. Before anything enters your home, ask the 3 Mottainai questions. Where will it live? What does it replace? Does this home genuinely need this? If you cannot answer all 3 clearly, it does not come in. We are 2 habits in, and both of them work before the mess ever starts. What comes next is the one that keeps it from building throughout the day. This is the habit that Japanese children learn before anything else about keeping a home. And it is the one that most adults outside Japan have never once practiced consistently. Habit number 3. Genshi Genbutsu applied to objects. Genshi Genbutsu in its original form is a Toyota manufacturing principle, meaning go and see for yourself. Go to the actual place and observe directly. But in the context of Japanese home culture, it translates into a daily habit that can be described simply as the one-touch rule. Every object is touched once and returned to its place in the same motion. You pick something up, you use it, and you return it before you move on to the next thing, not later. Not when you have a free moment, not at the end of the day. In the same motion, immediately. This single habit is the one that separates homes that somehow stay clean from homes that fall apart by noon every day. Because the mess in most homes does not happen all at once. It happens one item at a time. A jacket placed on a chair instead of hung up, a glass left on the counter instead of in the sink, a pair of shoes left by the door instead of in the closet. Each one takes 30 seconds to put away properly, but left there, it becomes a signal to the rest of the household that the standard has dropped, and everything else follows. One jacket on a chair becomes 3. One glass on the counter becomes a cluster. Japanese households interrupt this cascade at the first item every time. Touch once, return immediately. That one discipline practiced consistently makes the rest of the cleaning almost unnecessary, because the mess never gets a foothold to grow from. Halfway through, and the question I want you to be sitting with right now is this. Out of the 3 habits so far, which one did you just picture failing at this week? That is the one your home needs most right now. Keep that in mind as we get into the next 3, because they work together with everything you just heard. Habit number 4. Ma. Ma is one of the most recognized concepts in Japanese design, and it means empty space, negative space, the space between things. In Japanese architecture, art, and daily living, the empty space in a room is considered just as important as the objects in it. It is not wasted space. It is intentional space, breathing room. And in a Japanese home, every surface has it deliberately. Countertops are kept largely clear not because Japanese people have fewer things, but because the empty space is protected on purpose. A surface with one intentional object on it feels calm. A surface covered in objects, even clean organized objects, feels chaotic. Your brain does not just read mess through disorder. It reads mess through density. Too many items in a visual field, even neatly arranged items, triggers a low-level background stress response that most people carry all day without ever identifying the source. They feel unsettled in their own home without understanding why. Ma is the answer. The practice here is simple, and it requires nothing except the willingness to remove things from surfaces rather than rearrange them. Go to your kitchen counter right now in your mind, or your bathroom counter, or your bedside table. How many items are on it? Now imagine that counter with one thing on it or nothing. Feel the difference that creates even just picturing it. That feeling is ma. And Japanese homes are designed to create it in every room, not as decoration, but as daily mental relief for everyone who lives there. You are 4 habits in, and you have not bought a single storage product or spent a single weekend reorganizing. That is the point. These habits work because they change the behavior, not the furniture. Number 5 is the one that ties this all together in a way you are going to feel the moment you try it. Habit number 5, Seiri. Seiri is the first principle of the Japanese 5S methodology, developed inside Toyota's manufacturing system and practiced in Japanese homes and workplaces with equal seriousness. It means sort, or more precisely, separate what is necessary from what is not. In a home context, Seiri is practiced not as a one-time declutter event, but as an ongoing daily relationship with every object in the home. Japanese households practice a version of Seiri every single day. Not a full declutter, a small, continuous sorting, one drawer, one shelf, one corner of a room. A few minutes every day of honestly asking whether each item still serves the household, or whether it has simply been there long enough that no one questions it anymore. The research on household clutter consistently shows that most people in Western homes are living with between 30 and 50% more objects than they actively use. Items kept from obligation. Items kept from nostalgia without ever being looked at. Items kept because getting rid of them feels like a decision that requires energy no one has right now. Seiri is the daily habit of making that decision in small doses instead of letting it accumulate into the overwhelming project that then never gets done. 5 minutes a day of honest sorting prevents the need for the overwhelming weekend project entirely. Pick one small area. Ask the Seiri question, does this serve this home right now, today? Yes, it stays. No, it leaves. Not someday. Today. The homes that stay clean are not the ones that declutter once dramatically and start over. They are the ones that sort quietly and consistently and never let the question go unanswered for too long. One habit left, and this last one is the one that holds all 5 of the others in place. Without it, the other 5 eventually collapse. With it, your home takes care of itself almost automatically. Habit number 6, Shokunin Kishitsu. Shokunin is the Japanese word for craftsman or artisan, and Kishitsu means spirit or nature. Together, Shokunin Kishitsu means the spirit of the craftsman. In Japanese culture, a shokunin is someone who approaches their work, whatever that work is, with absolute dedication to doing it with care and doing it well. Not perfectly, not obsessively, just with genuine attention and respect for the task in front of them. Japanese people who keep immaculate homes don't think of cleaning and tidying as a chore they tolerate. They think of it as a practice they maintain. There is a profound difference between those two things. When cleaning is a chore, you delay it, rush it, resent it, and do just enough to get through it. When cleaning is a practice, you do it with care, you do it consistently, and it takes far less time because it is never allowed to get far enough behind to require a major effort. This mindset shift does not happen overnight, but it starts with a single decision about how you approach the smallest tasks in your home. Not the weekly clean, the daily 5 minutes, the dish put away properly, the surface wiped before it needs to be scrubbed, the floor swept before it needs to be mopped. Shokunin Kishitsu in a home context is caring for your space the way a craftsman cares for their tools, attentively, consistently, without drama. Because the tools that are cared for daily never require the emergency repair that neglected tools always eventually need. Now look at all 6 together and see what they actually are. Osooji gives your home a complete reset that raises the standard for everything that comes after. Mottainai filters what is allowed to enter so the accumulation never begins. Genchi Genbutsu, applied to objects, closes the loop the moment something is used, so it never has the chance to pile up. Ma protects the empty space that keeps your home feeling calm, regardless of its size. Seiri keeps the honest sorting happening daily, so nothing has time to overstay its welcome. And Shokunin Kishitsu changes your relationship with maintaining your home from something you endure to something you practice. None of these require a weekend. None of them require new furniture or storage solutions or a bigger home. Every single one of them is a decision made daily in small moments that add up to a home that takes care of itself. Here is what I want you to do right now. Go to the comments and tell me one specific room in your home that always falls apart no matter what you do. Just one room, one sentence. Because I want to know which of these 6 habits is the one that room needs most, and I want to tell you exactly where to start. The comments are open. Drop your room. Let me know. If this opened your eyes to why the cleaning never seems to last, send it to one person whose home you know is fighting the same battle. They need to hear that the problem was never effort. It was always the system. See you in the next one.